So I asked ChatGPT what are the 5 main values of music, and it gave me catchiness, emotional impact, creativity, production, and writing. And what I did was I took every one of these values and I asked the AI to rate every Kendrick Lamar song on each individual value. So as you can see, I asked it based on these 5 qualities, rate Kendrick Lamar's Lust from 1 to 10 for each quality individually. And it responded with, sure, here are my ratings for Lust by Kendrick Lamar. Catchiness a 7, emotional impact an 8, creativity a 9, production a 9, and writing is an 8. So what I did was I did this for every single song and I got an average rating. And as you can see, it worked. And what I did was I added up all of the song scores for each category and I summed it up into an average for each album. So we have the catchiness of each album out of 10, the emotional impact out of 10, the creativity out of 10, and we're gonna use that to rank every Kendrick Lamar album according to AI. Now, ChatGPT didn't have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers in its database. The data stopped being collected in 2021, but there was another AI that is literally the same as ChatGPT, but just has a bigger database, and it was able to rank Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So yeah, let's get into an album by album. We're gonna be ranking them from each category and then seeing a total score for each album. Oh yeah, and I didn't do Untitled Unmastered because, I mean, it's kind of just like a compilation of stuff he didn't put onto Pimp a Butterfly. Okay, so his debut album, Section 80. Let's see how it ranked every single category. For catchiness, it is a 6.7 out of 10. Now remember, this is kind of harsh. The AI doesn't like to give out 10s that often. But yeah, I'd give it a 6.7 for catchiness, which would put it into 3rd place when you take into account every Kendrick album. For emotional impact, it's at a 7.5, which would again rank it at 3rd place out of every album. Which, I mean, I don't know if I agree. There are some deep cuts on that album, but I generally think the other Kendrick Lamar albums are more emotionally impactful, but hey, that's how the AI feels. Creativity, 7.8, and look, a lot of the scores were very close here. Like, the AI thinks that Kendrick albums are pretty creative. It's gonna go ahead and actually put it in last. So yeah, 7.8 in last place. That's pretty good. Production is a 7.5. It thinks that it's the worst produced Kendrick Lamar album, which, I mean, I don't know if you can argue with that. And for writing, it is placed in 4th place with an 8.6. So yeah, the writing is incredibly high. And if you add all of these scores up and divide by 5, we will get a 7.62, which ranks it as the worst Kendrick Lamar album. Do I agree with this? Yeah, I would say I do. It's his debut album. As we all know, he went on to drop quite amazing albums and well-respected albums. Not that Section 80 isn't respected, but yeah. Let's take a look at the track list and see what it gave each song. For the most catchiest song, we have High Power. That's definitely fair. Rigor Mortis, that's an 8, and we have another 8 in Hold Up. For emotional impact, we have a couple of 9s here. High Power has a 9, Keisha's song has a 9, Tammy's song has a 9, ADHD has a 9. All of those are fair. Production actually doesn't have anything higher than an 8, which I don't know if I agree with that, but it also doesn't have anything lower than a 7, and I don't know if I agree with that. And writing, yeah, as you can see, a lot of 9s, but it didn't like the writing on Blow My High. Generally, it didn't like Blow My High. It thinks it's the worst song on Section 80. The best song, though, looking at these ratings, would probably go to High Power or maybe Rigor Mortis. Okay, we move on to Good Kid, Mad City, my personal favorite Kendrick Lamar album. Yep, I do think it's better than To Pimp a Butterfly. Please don't kill me, but yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the catchiness for Good Kid, Mad City. It is at a 7.7. That means that it is the catchiest Kendrick Lamar album. No. As much as I love this album, and I do think it is pretty catchy, I do think Kendrick has catchy albums in his discography. Emotional impact, it is the least emotionally impactful Kendrick Lamar album at a 7.2. Strong disagree with that. I mean, just the whole story of it and how Kendrick was kind of getting hooked into doing all these stuff because of the people he was around, and he was quite a good kid, but no pun intended. But he got hooked into a certain lifestyle because of his surroundings, and yeah, that's pretty sad to me. I don't know, it's pretty emotionally impactful. Creativity, it has an 8, and it's going to rank at 3rd. Production, it has an 8.6, and that's going to put it in 2nd place. And writing, you knew this was going to be high, 8.7, and that puts it in 2nd place. Total score, 8.04, and that's actually going to put it in 2nd place. So yeah, it doesn't agree with me, but hey, I'll take top 2. If it wasn't top 2, I would have been mad. If you look at the ratings, we can see that it does have a few 10s. For example, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst has a 10 emotional impact, which, yeah, okay, yeah. And the writing of that song is also a 10. So the first song that Kendrick has 10s on, it has 2 10s. We see with writing, not many songs have a 7. The only songs that have a 7 are Poetic Justice and Backseat Freestyle. Emotional impact, Backseat Freestyle isn't that emotional emotionally impactful, which is fair, definitely fair. And Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, you know, that has to be a 10. Real is at a 7. I think that song is really catchy, so I'm kind of mad at that. 2, Pimp a Butterfly. This is considered as Kendrick Lamar's masterpiece. It is widely considered as his best album, and even though I don't agree, I can't deny that this album is amazing. Like, if you don't like this album, you're racist. I did a poll a few days ago about like which album you prefer, Mad Villainy or To Pimp a Butterfly. Someone in the comments said that they think To Pimp a Butterfly is just okay. Just okay.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
But yeah, let's see what it gives To Pimp a Butterfly. Catchiness, it puts it at a 7, which would be the 3rd highest. It would rank at 3rd place. Emotional impact, 7.9. Yeah, I guess I can agree with it. Creativity, it's at an 8, and it places in 1st place, so it thinks is the most creative Kendrick album. I can't knock it for that. I think I would agree as well. Production, 8.4, it places in 3rd? I would have expected it to be top 2, maybe even 1, but you know what, the AI does what it wants. And writing, I think we all saw this coming, 8.9. Wow. Final rating, it's actually tied with Good Kid, Mad City at 8.04, but since TPAB has more songs, and I think it's more impressive to stay consistent while having more songs, it goes at number 1. Let's look at the tracks and see what it gave 10s to. Look at the writing section. There are 4 10s. We have a 10 for These Walls, we have a 10 for You, we have a 10 for How Much a Dollar Cost, and we have a 10 for The Blacker the Berry. For emotional impact, we also have 3 songs here that have a 10, and 2 of them have 10s in both categories, writing and emotional impact. You has a 10 in emotional impact and in writing. The Blacker the Berry has a 10 in emotional impact and in writing. And there's also another song with 10 for emotional impact, and that is Mortal Man. Let's take a look at catchiness. You, 3 out of 10. Ooh, that's bad. That's like bad. But I guess I can see where it's coming from. We also have a 3 for Mortal Man. That is tough. But we also have like a 9 for I, and we also have a 9 for All Right, which you know that I can agree with that. That's fair. Emotional impact for Free is the least emotionally impactful song, so I only gave that a 7 for creativity. Okay. Production, yeah, it loves everything. But out of all of these songs, I think the worst one is You Ain't Gotta Lie, because it has a few 6s and the rest are 7s. And for the best song, I think it thinks that The Blacker the Berry is the best song. If you average all of these out, it has an 8, 10, 9, 9, and 10. That is crazy. But I also do agree. That song is one of Kendrick's best. I mean, you could say it's his best and I wouldn't be mad at you. Okay, we have Damn. It is usually considered as his hit album that had the most hits on it. So I was expecting it to give it a high score for catchiness, but no, 6.6. The least catchy Kendrick Lamar album. I can't say I agree. I would have to say Section 80 is probably least catchier than that. Emotional impact, it is at a 7.7. So that is in 3rd place. And I don't know, I guess there are some personal songs on there. There are some kind of deep topics on there, so I can see it. Creativity, it is at an 8 out of 10, and that would actually put it in 2nd place. Production, it is at an 8.7, and in a wild turn of events, in my opinion, it is in 1st place. I don't know how to feel about that. I'm just gonna say probably no. That's all I'll say. And writing, it is a worst written Kendrick Lamar album, but you know, it's still in an 8.5. And if you look at the average score, it is a 7.9, and that would put it in 3rd place. Let's look at some of these ratings. There are 4 10 out of 10 ratings. So for Humble, we have a 10 on the production, maybe a bit high, I would say, but okay. For Fear, we have a 10 on emotional impact, and for writing, we have a 10 on Fear and on Duckworth. And yeah, catchiness, you know, this surprised me. A lot of the songs, it doesn't find to be that catchy. There's only one 9, which is Humble, and an 8 for Loyalty. And it also give a 10 for production to DNA. Humble is also all around very good. Lust, which may be my favorite from this album, or Pride are rated pretty good. I'm happy with that. But yeah, God seems to be the least favorite of the robot. A 7 for catchiness, a 5 for emotional impact, a 6 for creativity. But yeah, generally that is seen as the only really bad song on Humble. Did I say on Humble? I meant on Damn. And we have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, his latest album, and I did have some troubles getting the ratings on here. As I said, I used another bot aside from ChatGPT. But yeah, I managed to get them in the end. It took a little while in convincing the robot to, you know, give me the scores. But yeah, let's start with catchiness. It is at a 6.6. It is the 4th catchiest Kendrick Lamar album, or 2nd least catchiest Kendrick Lamar album. If you're wondering why I put it above Damn, that's because it has more tracks and the same rating, so it stayed as consistent as Damn, but for more tracks. Emotional impact, 7.7, and it goes in 2nd place. So yeah, pretty good there from the robot. I would agree, genuinely. It's a very emotionally impactful album, and the whole idea of it being like therapy, yeah, I really like that. Creativity, 7.8, putting it at 4th 4th place, which I guess, I don't know. Production, 8.1, putting it in 4th place. And writing is an 8.6, and that actually puts it in 3rd place in terms of writing. And the final score is a 7.76, and as you can see, it thinks that it is the 4th worst Kendrick Lamar album. And let's take a look at the ratings. There are a lot of tracks here, and we have 5 10s, 4 of them coming in the writing section. United in Grief is a 10 for writing, Auntie Diaries is a 10 for writing, Mother I Sober is a 10 for writing, and also a 10 for emotional impact, and the Hard Part 5 is a 10 for writing. I actually really likes the Hard Part 5. It gave it 9s all across the board. Aside from catchiness, it gave that a 6. Emotional impact is very high. Mr. Morale doesn't have that high of an emotional impact, which is fair. Purple Hearts doesn't either, which again is fair. Yeah, let's take a look at every 10 it gave. It didn't give any Kendrick song a 10 for catchiness. Emotional impact, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, You, The Blacker the Berry, Mortal Man, Fear, and Mother I Sober are all 10s. Creativity, no song. It also gave no Kanye song a 10 for creativity, so it really doesn't think there is a creative song out there. Production, DNA and Humble, very weird choices for the production. And writing, yeah, this is a pretty big list. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, These Walls, You, How Much a Dollar Cost, The Blacker the Berry, Fear, Duckworth, United in Grief, Auntie Diaries, Mother I Sober, and The Hard Part 5. Let's take a look at the final ranking of every Kendrick Lamar album. At last place, we have Section 80. At 4th place, we have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. At 3rd place, we have Damn. At 2nd place, we have Good Kid, Mad City. And at 1st place, we have, wow, what a surprise, To Pimp a Butterfly. Am I mad? No, I actually think this is a very good ranking, and it's almost exactly the same as mine. The only thing I would swap is the Pimp a Butterfly below Good Kid, Mad City. Everything else, though, I pretty much agree with. And yeah, tell me what other artists you would want me to do this with. Someone said Death Grips. That's a very good idea. I'm not gonna lie. I probably will do Death Grips next. But yeah, soon I'm gonna be doing every Kendrick Lamar song ranked in my opinion, not the AI's opinion. So please make sure you like and subscribe. That will mean so much to me. It'll help push my channel in the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace.